Hey, what's going on? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com, MikeKolllin.com. Okay, so today we're going to talk about why not to get revenge on a narcissist. Okay, I'll light my candle here. Do my little sage thing for a second. Okay, maybe a couple seconds. All right, I'm gonna give you an answer that you probably never heard of before, or you may have heard it as I did, but didn't really. It was never applied to narcissism. First of all, let's start out with this. All you need to do, or at least one of the things you can do to let go of a narcissist, because okay, I understand that you're hurting inside, like you're hurting fucking bad, and you want to get revenge. I know you do. Don't do it. Don't do it. Trust me. It's not only, okay, watch this. This is going to be cool. You're going to like this. Because I used to hate when people would say that to me, because it was just like, yeah, but they're going to get away with all. No, they're not going to. No, watch. This is going to be so beautiful. They're going to be punished way worse than you could ever punish them. And that's why you need to stay out. Okay. When I was a young boy growing up, listening to American Indians and their spiritual beliefs, and they kept talking about ancestors. You can watch it on the History Channel or on movies, but they're always talking about their ancestors. You've got to honor your ancestors. You've got to pray to your ancestors. You've got to listen to your ancestors. You've got to let them guide you, which is all true. Well, I also heard about this when I went to Hawaii for a 5-week training and studied Huna. Huna was one of the things we were training at, learning. And again, they were talking about ancestors. And you can go to Japan. You can study Reiki, Huna, I'm trying to think, I think pranic healing. Who else? Buddhist. They talk about ancestors. And who else? I can't remember. It's in the north, like Europe, like the Norsemen, the Nordic. I can't remember the name of the religion, but there's a bunch of spiritual teachings and energy healing teachings over there that talk about ancestors, okay? So here's the deal. If you're an empath or a light worker or just an open-hearted, loving, nurturing, healing person, you may have dealt with a narcissist, and at one point in time, maybe towards the end, or maybe when you finally left them and you're like, what? I know I did. I was like God, why would you do this to me? Like, I don't understand. Because I've been on a healing journey for over 30 years. I've been going to energy healers. I've been meditating, praying, doing all kinds of different therapies from NLP, hypnosis, timeline therapy, everything that I'm trained in and certified in. And I'm like, why would you do this? Well, believe it or not, but you were chosen as a gift for the narcissist, and in a good way for them. And I guess you. Well, maybe not for you, actually. No. But it wasn't meant, it wasn't meant to hurt you. It was, all right, I'm just going to say it. So let's take you. You've got your ancestors. Call it God, call it whatever you want. They also have their ancestors. The narcissist has been going down into such a dark place for such a long time that it's God, how do I explain this? They're not turning around, and they're getting darker and darker to the point where they're really hurting people, not only emotionally, but on a spiritual, energetic level. And their ancestors are going, this is like a last, I can't find the right words. It's like a last chance, last case, whatever, for the narcissist. Their ancestors, here's what they do. They came to your ancestors and said, we need someone to help intervene, to turn the narcissist around to go back up. At one point, I had said to my narcissist, when I was like, don't talk to me, I'm done, we're going too radically, and I went like this completely different directions, right? And he had came back and said, well, what did you mean when you said that? I'm like, well, you're going down, and I'm going up. I go, we're going, I'm not, because here's the thing. He embarrassed his ancestors really bad. Sorry. And, God, how to explain this? For their ancestors to come to your ancestors, to ask them for help for their person, that means, it's, how do I explain this to you? It's like a country going to another country, begging them for help because they're getting attacked. Okay? They're saying, can you send your young men and women to sacrifice their lives to fight for our lives? You get it? This is not a little thing. This is a big, big thing in the spirit world. So you were brought to them, and your ancestors knew you were going to get hurt, and you were going to get hurt bad. They knew that. But they needed help, right? Your ancestors also knew you were going to survive, and you were going to become stronger for it, and you were going to heal a lot of your own issues as well, okay? So it wasn't like you were the sacrificial lamb, but they did know that this was not going to be an easy experience for you at all. They knew you were going to get hurt. So their ancestors know the same thing. They know, like, what we're asking of you, what they're asking of your ancestors was a big, 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 big thing. Okay, so you were sent into this person's life, and as I look back, like, how did I even get involved with this person? Who is this person? What's going on here? I remember praying, like, and I was mad at God. I was like, why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? And I bet a lot of you thought the same thing. Because that person needed help. Because that person you being brought into their life was a last resort. Because, as I pointed out, they're going down. And that's not going to be a good thing. So you were brought in as a last resort to turn them around, to bring them out of the darkness. And guess what they did? They're like, no, I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to bring you down here. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to attack your spirit. I'm going to attack your soul. And they did, didn't they? And you literally thought you were becoming a dark person, didn't you? No, you were just got their muck on you. That's all it was. You just had to be washed off from time. Okay. Here's the deal. Their ancestors, when they saw this, what was happening, like they were trying to turn you, instead of going up and try to turn you to go down. Because the fact of the matter is, you did have to go into darkness. And I bet a lot of you are Scorpios, aren't you? Or have Scorpios in your chart. You have to go into the darkness in order to pull that person out. You know, it's kind of funny. Like, they sent me to do that. Like, yeah, they did. Because you are the light. You brought light into their darkness. And they saw it. It was like a reminder of, wait, life can be better. Yeah, it can. When they tried to put out your light and tried to make you dark, their ancestors got embarrassed. No. Their ancestors got humiliated. Your ancestors got hurt. They got pissed. Their ancestors got hurt by what they did to you too. So their ancestors are hurt. They're humiliated. They're embarrassed. They're ashamed that they asked for help from your ancestors. And it's just like they're just humiliated. Now, let me tell you something. This is what I'm trying to say. If you don't think that their ancestors aren't going to kick their ass, all you have to do is sit back and watch the show. It's popcorn time, baby. Start eating that popcorn, dude. I'm telling you. Their ancestors are going to straighten them out one way or another, whether it's in this lifetime or the next time. It probably won't be in this lifetime. In this lifetime, they're just going to suffer immensely because their ancestors are going to pour it on them. That's why you need to stay out of it. A long time ago in my mid-20s, Pastor Rex, my pastor, he had said to me, he had said, you know, Michael, one thing I learned, I forget what we were talking about and being the empath. And I went, oh, well, don't you just want to help them? He said, oh, no, 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 no. He does help people, and so do I. But there does come a time when you need to separate. You need to be like, hands off, okay? He said to me, he goes, one thing I learned, Michael, through experience, he goes, I learned never to get in between God and someone he's working with. He goes, because you will get burned and you will get burned bad. And now, in the age of 52, I know exactly what he means. It's happened to me a lot. And that's why for those of you who think, oh, I'm an empath, I'll just heal them with my love. You know, if you're not trained, if you don't know what you're doing. And the fact of the matter is, there does come a time, there comes a moment And it was very distinct for me. It was really, really, really distinct. I literally, I'm done. I just, something inside said, but I said it verbally out loud to someone we both know. I was like, I'm done. That's it. I'm just done. And I was like, I even looked up like, what the fuck was that? I felt a silence. And I was like, it's time to go. So I talked, I think it was that night, and I packed up my bags and I left the next morning. I was like, I'm done. It's over. Because at that point forward, you're going to get burned, and you're going to get burned bad. You need to stay out of their flame, because their ancestors are going to be hammering the fuck out of them. And if you get involved, you're going to get hammered too. That's why, as if you're one of those empaths or healers, oh, I'm just going to help them. Like, no, there comes a time when it's you need to step out, and you need to let their ancestors deal. Their ancestors know they're going to do what they have to do. You were the last resort, so they didn't have to get put through that hell. They're going through hell. And let me assure you, see if there's something else I'm missing here. Let me assure you something right now. They're already going through hell. They're as the good narc that they are, they're hiding it from you. They're bullshitting you. My narc, when he came back, begging for help, begging, he flat out, and I said, you don't got to tell me. I already know your life's an absolute nightmare right now, and it's been a nightmare since I left. It probably happened the next day or the next week after I left. I go, I know you've been going through hell. Anxiety, fear, panic attacks. And he's like, I am. He goes, Mike, you have no idea what I'm like. I goes, oh, no. I have a really good idea what you're going through. So his darkness hasn't even really begun. It's going to get worse. I look back on my timeline of the people who have hurt me and done bad things to me, the narcissist. Their lives are an absolute wreck. And, at the time, I just felt it was so unfair. You're not allowed to get revenge. It's not a matter of not getting revenge. It's a matter of you did your job and it's time to move on. All right? I don't want to go into the nightmarish stuff that I've seen these people who have done me wrong, that they've gone through, but their lives are horrible. Like, you have no idea. It's like the gnashing of the teeth. The stuff that gets thrown at them by their ancestors, mind you. Now, it's not you doing it to them. It's not God. It's their ancestors. You can talk to any Indian tribe. You can talk to Buddhists. You can talk to all these people. Their ancestors are knocking them around saying, hey, you're going to straighten up one way or another. You're going to get this. So I literally prayed for mine when I realized what they were going through. I literally prayed, and I remember get this feeling from God saying, there's nothing I can do. This is their own doing. They're going to have to go through their own stuff. Hey, this is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. I can assure you, you don't need to get revenge on them. It's only going to hurt you. You're only going to get hurt, and you're only going to get caught up in more of their bullshit. That's exactly what's going to happen. So don't do it. I promise you. Here's the good thing. You're going to get rewarded. You always get rewarded when you go through something like this and you finally let go of it and unattach. Cut cords from this person. Take their name, write it on a piece of paper, and burn it up into the sky. It doesn't mean you're burning them. It just means you're burning the connections, okay? You can even put the word connections underneath if that'll make you feel more, because you're burning up the connections. You're just like, no more. Turn it over to God. The minute I did that, I got this peace, this... I don't know what to call it. It was like my energy just loosened up and relaxed. And man, I slept like a baby that night. Okay? God bless you guys. See you soon. See you next time.